Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Vibra got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Dropping knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. DOVU, that's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Hope you had a great day. Morning, since it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in New York. But man, it is crazy out there. The war, inflation, it's just still freezing cold up here in New York. Just sucks all around. And I feel like we got a couple more weeks of this, maybe another month or so, until we get the final leg down when things start to really get bad. And I thought this would happen a lot sooner. I thought this would all happen last year, but we had the government shut down. Things just move so slow up at that level. And when you're changing and moving from this archaic fiat system that we have now to the new digital system, it takes time. This stuff's got to be battle tested, and people have to be conditioned for what's to come. It's not like you can just uproot people's lives and just drop sudden changes. It has to be gradual. People have to feel like they're not using crypto, and that's what's going to happen. As instant settlement happens, we're going to be able to move money from PayPal to Venmo to Stripe, just like the early email days when if you had AOL, you couldn't send anything to IBM.net or to Netscape. You could only email the AOL.com, but then it opened up. So that's what's going to happen with crypto. We're going to start to see mainstream adoption. I really think towards the end of this year, we're hearing it from the banks that they're building all the platforms out and they're getting ready to make the switch over to blockchain. So let's look at these bubbles. River, no idea what that is. Probably an AI company. I'm just guessing. But in the top 100, Near and XDC, the only things that are really, really up. But boy, look at PTGC, the Gray's currency, up 30%. I don't know if that has to do with the reward program getting paid out, or the people are finally realizing PTGC is that blue chip on Pulse Chain. So shout out to everyone holding PTGC. Shout out to Prairie Banana, the Grays. They've been consistent. They've been here through the whole bear market, talking about their project, building, growing. So it's good to see a green candle finally coming in. But Bitcoin, what is going to happen to Bitcoin? I think we are setting up for this. Every time we chop, we dip. Another head and shoulders here. And I think we are falling and falling and falling. And I think we're going to see something escalate. Something's going to pop off and we're going to see a quick rinse down. I really think down to as low as like 44, 45K. I think we can drop there. And if it goes below that, it ain't. That's what I'm calling. 45,000, 44K. We're going to drop down there. But No one knows. It just gives us time to focus on the core blue chips that we should be accumulating right now. If you don't have XRP, Quant, I would say XRP or XLM. I prefer both, but one or the other is okay if you're trying to get into the blue chips that are the long term. I'm never selling these coins again. I'm going to put them to work, earn yield on them, and only sell that interest. And over the next 5 to 10 years, I think XRP and Flare are going to do huge numbers. So we're going to Flare's at less than a penny right now. If it can get to 50 cents or even a dollar somehow, man, that's game changing. And we're getting hundreds and hundreds back every week in rewards. If it went to a dollar, man, now Flare is all of a sudden paying bills. And that's what you want to see. That's what crypto is for. So I'm now using this bear market and these shitty times. It's really been a wake-up call to hold the best projects. You don't want to hold stuff that there's no community or you're just left holding the bag, asking questions. And that's where I love Phoenix DeFi Hub on Stellar, paying me now almost 15 FO a day. It's going to get up to about 20 once I'm at max yield from adding to my pool. So I just bought today another 450 stronghold. Yeah, it's not much. It's a couple dollars, but every week I'm adding a couple thousand. And the longer prices stay down here, I can get more bang for the buck. So we're a 7x away from where we were in August last summer. So everyone that missed the boat and was buying at 2 or 3 cents, if you loved it back then, how can you not love it at a half a cent? It doesn't make sense. And that's where you got to zoom out, because these coins are going to make a new floor. We're going to stop seeing this massive volatility, because this is just retail speculation and hype. Once utilities here and these things are being used, I don't see them dropping 75, 85, 95% every cycle. I don't know if that's been the holdoff, where money isn't going to come into this space until they know that new floors are going to be held. When legislation is here and there's no risk of, all right, we just dropped $100 million and built all this stuff out, and in 3 years, Kamala Harris comes in and tries to ban it all. We can't have that risk. So soon that's going to go away with clarity. There's a huge fight over it. I don't know. I think they're going to end up taking DeFi out of the Clarity Act and just kicking that down the road and only doing a little bit to just at least get something there to get this started. Because how are we going to be the crypto capital of the world when all these other countries are ahead of us? Like, we're playing catch up right now. It can't last forever. So what up, Julian? Everything's going to shit. Cross my fingers. We'll get through. We will, bro. I have no doubt. Like, this is normal with crypto. This is what happens. There was no real bull market last cycle. It was money came into the Bitcoin ETF and ETH ETFs, and then it kind of trickled around a little bit. But really, not much, bro. Really not much at all. So you got to just have that conviction. You got to know what you hold. And that's why I think it's so important to hold the best projects. Like Flare, you're talking about, is a sleeper. Exactly. It unlocks all of the DeFi capabilities for XRP. And this vault, March 18th. So we're now almost 2 weeks from tomorrow. The vault is opening up, and we're going to be able to dump our XRP in. And I think we're going to be able to collect all the rewards from the December deposit, because this is going to be huge. Flare already has deals with all of the institutions and all the exchanges. So everyone that uses exchanges and they say earn yield on these projects, they're going to be using Firelight and just taking a cut. Manitak Shesh, good to see you. Mr. Mobius. Hang in there, brother. Hang in there. We're almost through. But this does feel good today. A nice PTGC pump. And next time we get up into these levels up here, a 10x or so, we're going to start taking profits and slowly selling $100, $200 a day. Because when you're sitting on 30, 40K, that was the first time. Like last cycle, yeah, we came in, some shit did good, but round tripping these, that was, I mean, I didn't round trip. I sold some too early, sold a little too much, but we didn't take profits at the right time across the board. And now that's a huge learning lesson. And Pulse Chain, I think, is going to see another cycle of that just volatility. I don't see a world around that. But that's all right, bro. We're going to cash out more in the future. And it sucks looking back on it. But going into an actual boom, 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 like we're going to see, this is going to look like nothing again. Like, remember back when we first started seeing these pumps back here, like it's nothing when you zoom out. And in a little bit, we're going to be right back there with more coins than we have now. The best projects are going to rise to the top. UFO is tracking right behind it too. You know, this is the power of Hart's law of liquidity bonding and quality projects. Like UFO and PTGC have solidified themselves. And Erwin loves Peacock. I definitely don't have any, but yeah, damn, that shit is looking good. And it's against Pulse too. It's probably, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's a clean 30x against Pulse. And you had a month and a half. But oh well, it is what it is. P Tiger's the one I got right now. I mean, I'm pretty much free rolling. I've been doing a great job at scalping it and selling the local tops and buying back. I think I got my bag up to almost 300,000. So I only had 200. So for me, that's huge to add almost 50% to my bag and not having to bring new cash in. That's the skill that I picked up on and finally learned how to scalp. And what it is, I figured it out, is when you can't sell, it's hard to sell a coin, just sell $10 worth, sell $20 worth. The second you make one sell, it breaks that. I don't even know what the word, that connection or you have with that coin or whatever it is where you can't sell it. A lot of us get in that mindset. We're like, I don't want to sell it and have it run up. And of course, I sell my bag and then it 10x's overnight. We all have that feeling. But the second you sell a teeny little bit, it breaks things into perspective. You're like, all right, yeah, I'm going to pull some of this out. And you feel fine with it. So it's crazy how that shit works. Smart or Swarm has been doing great in the last month or so from the bottom. That's doubled, a clean double up. I added to this down low. I mean, it was only like $80, so almost doubled my bag. But that's fine. Like, look at where this shit was. Back at $1.20, $1.20 something. And it's gonna come back. Like Swarm, this project is not dead at all. There's no volume on Polygon. It's all on Ethereum. So there's 91K in this pool. So there's liquidity. It's just all on ETH. But when shit's crazy and you go to sell it and gas is at like 40 and you pay $80 for a swap, it like eats away so much of my profit. So little bags on Polygon, little hack. We missed it on P. Yeah, we did, but we didn't, bro. We missed chance one, but we're going to get another one and another one. Like PTGC is only going to grow. And it's like PTGC is going to be like Bitcoin, where we would look back and say, God damn it, we sold so much too early. I really believe that's the case with a few projects. and Richard needs to do something with ProveX. It's got to come out and do well. So guys, when you're swapping on ETH, Pulse Chain or Base, if you're not switching, what are you doing? I use this every day. And why do I love it? Because it automatically takes the taxes out. So you're like, yeah, you know what? I need to buy some PTGC. So you put it on here and it automatically recognizes it's a 5% tax. So you don't have to go and toggle it in PulseX and then forget you left it at 5% and you make swaps and do 5% slippage on your next 10 swaps, which I've done in the past. Yeah, I did. Yep. I had a couple billion. I sent out to friends and people 10 times the bag I have right now. I sent almost 400 million to friends. Just being like, bro, here, take this. Because I had so much so early that if I sold, I would have killed the market cap. And I never would have thought the golf course coin could have went where it did. But hey, I'm still happy I got a bag worth like 4K right now. In the bottom of the bottom, I'll take it. It's better than missing it. I thought I missed ETH when it hit $50. Exactly. It's all perspective. In crypto, you fortunately can use time to your advantage. You fuck up and didn't sell, you just hold on to it. If it was a quality project, and you are rewarded even more for your patience. So yes, that is very true. Guys, if you're out looking for Pokemon, be careful.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Animals, bro. Animals.
Animales. Look at that. There's a butt crack. There's 2 butt cracks. Like, these are 40-year-old men. That's hilarious. The problem is you buy them for $60 and you can go dump them on the internet right now for $120 and double your money. But this is the madness right now in Pokemon again. So if there's money for people to buy this stuff, there's money to buy crypto. It's just the herd right here needs to be, instead of hunting Pokemon cards, they need to be going to crypto ATMs or going to their Coinbase wallet. And it can be done super easily. So I think that can happen. Qubic. QMINE. Only thing up. Everything else just chilling. You know, stuff that's dipping 70, 55%, 40%. Be careful. Be careful. Damn, Garth down to 37. That sucks. That sucks. But huge news for the scientific team. We're thrilled to announce the upcoming paper by Jose Sanchez and David Vivecanos has been accepted for publication and presentation at the AMLDS 2026. So shout out to these guys. The Advanced Machine Learning and Data Science, July 21st to 23rd. Qubic will be representing. Also, Dogecoin has a mass mining community, mass adoption, mass liquidity. Now imagine plugging into that network that's already training AI with its mining power. That's what Qubic is building. ASICs handle Doge mining. CPUs, GPUs keep training Garth. Both run at the same time. No trade-offs, no alternating, parallel. So we all know in about a month and a half to 2, mainnet launch target is a month from now, April 1st. Qubic is bringing Doge mining into its network, not as a side feature or an afterthought, but as a fundamental expansion of what protocol can do. The architecture is finalized. Testing begins in March. This is the full picture of how Doge mining will work on Qubic. Qubic doesn't mine for the sake of mining. The network runs on a concept called useful proof of work, where computational power serves a real purpose, training AI Garth, Qubic's AI research initiative. Miners contribute processing power to the advanced AI models and the network rewards them with Qs for that work. Myself, instead of mining all that processing power, I hold QMINE and I mine Qubics through the machines that the QMINE project owns. And it pays me back every single week. And for getting in early, when it was 300 Qubics or 290 Qubics per token, now it's up 12 or 13x. And for 290 Qubics, we got almost 2, and the last one before that were 4 Qubic. So I got back alone, almost 1% of my initial investment into each individual share in that one payback from getting in super early. So the APY for people that got in then, it's insane. So Qubic, until now, the network has also mined Monero during idle cycles, alternating between AI training tasks and mining Monero. The model worked well as a proof of concept. It demonstrated that a blockchain could extract real-world value from its mining infrastructure beyond just securing a ledger. Dogecoin changes the equation entirely. The single biggest technical shift with Dogecoin integration is this. Doge mining will run parallel to the AI training, not in alternating blocks, not in time slice cycles, simultaneously. Here's why that's possible. Dogecoin uses the script algorithm, which requires ASIC hardware. Qubic's AI training runs on CPUs and GPUs. These are fundamentally different pieces of hardware doing different jobs. So instead of competing for the same resources, they operate simultaneously. ASIC miners handle Dogecoin. The GPUs continue training Garth. Both contribute to the network. Neither displaces the other. So basically now the miners are going to mine a bunch of Dogecoin and sell that to buy and burn Qubic. So this is going to be awesome. We're now mining Monero, mining Qubic. Eco, the founder of QMINE, is mining some Bitcoin. I think there's like $900 or $1,000 that's been mined already. So Qubic has been crushing it, guys. Keep an eye out on it. They just keep building. They're at all these conferences. And just go to the Qubic blog and just read some of the stuff. Read these articles that they put out. Like, it's incredible, guys. And it's endless. It's been years now that they've been continuously building, reshaping the marketing team with the new think tank that's out. The initiative on X, where if you tweet Qubic out, you get 30,000 Qs sent to your wallet immediately if you're verified through Zealy. So they're really taking this stuff to the next level. And just come to the website and just look around here and read through the white papers, the scientific papers for Naraxon. Like, to me, it's a different language. I tried to read it, but I'm not smart enough to understand a trinary bio-inspired neural unit. Naraxon uses trinary states, ones, zeros, and negative ones for excitatory or excite. What is that? Excitatory, neutral, and inhibitory activity, processing continuous inputs with dynamic internal signaling. Guys, it's like doing your ABCs, but it's beyond my comprehension. My math does not understand T times ds over dt equals negative s plus alpha beta kappa 6 fs psi. Like, guys, this shit is, I just laugh at this stuff. Like, it literally makes me laugh. But these people, this is how smart these guys are. And ladies too. No, Jose and David, they're the ones going to Japan in July for the conference. Guys, I'm telling you, Qubic is the one. So, switching it up to some macro. Litecoin, Doge can be mined together as well. And yeah, I just feel like mining Litecoin would be a waste. You have the ability to mine Doge. I feel like that's where it's at. But hey, Litecoin could be back for the fifth cycle. Israeli experts are now sounding the alarm. Iranian cluster missiles can split into as many as 80 sub-missiles hitting multiple targets. The bigger question, how did Iran even get its hands on such technology in a country where scientists are constantly being assassinated? It's hard to ignore that China and Russia handed its deadly know-how straight to Tehran. Because you got to be so careful about what you see on Twitter and what you're reading. All right. They're making out to seem like the Iranian people are going nuts because the whole supreme leader was assassinated and it was all crisis actors fake crying. It wasn't real. You look in the real streets, everyone's celebrating because they're actually free. So honestly, no one knows what the hell's going on. Do not go to Twitter and believe the shit you're seeing. A lot of these videos are just fireworks and like they're not actually really like doing anything. I mean, yeah, these are obviously, but a lot of it is CGI. So just be careful what you read out there. It definitely is going to affect things like, look at the United States now. Missiles are being currently moved in the U.S. Something big is coming. The White House just posted new details about Operation Epic Fury. Guys, who names an Operation Epic Furry? Oh, Epic Furry. Or is that Fury? Wouldn't Fury be F-U-R-Y-Y? Epic Furry. Full details below. Soon. Epic Fury. Okay. So you mistyped that. All right. Epic Fury. That still sounds so stupid. Destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. Annihilate their navy. Ensure the regime's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region. Everyone in the streets is super happy that this guy's dead. So there's two sides to all this. I mean, I'm not believing the U.S. media one bit. But this could all be a show, or the aliens could be coming. Like, who the hell knows? And be ready for anything. President Trump responds to Spain, banning the U.S. from using military bases for strikes on Iran. Trump says the U.S. is now cutting off all trade with Spain. He has the right to stop everything that has to do with Spain. He instructed Bessent to cut off all dealings. The U.S. can use Spain's bases if we want. Just fly in and use it. The U.S. doesn't want anything to do with Spain. Like, God, well, who knows? Spain said no. Trump said fine. No trade, nothing. So Trump's just bringing us into another trade war. But Japan, the Bank of Japan to test blockchain settlement for bank reserves. Governor Ueda announced a sandbox to settle central bank money on chain. We're talking the actual Bank of Japan reserve deposits between financial institutions, atomic transactions, smart contracts, AI integration, BogeNet, compatibility being explored. Now connect the dots. Bank of Japan, test blockchain settlement. SBI Holdings, Japan, owns 9% of Ripple since 2019. SBI just launched a 10 billion yen on-chain bond with XRP rewards. SBI and Ripple are already running live cross-border payments in the XRP ledger. SBI signed an MOU to distribute Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin in Japan. No other country on earth has a systemically important bank this deep into one blockchain. At the same exact time, its central bank is now testing on-chain settlement. Japan isn't exploring crypto. Japan's building the rails. If the BOJ sandbox picks a ledger, guess which one has the institutional infrastructure already in place? Yes, the XRP ledger. How many central banks is Ripple working with? There's 170, I think, countries or central banks around the world. I think Ripple's working with half of them, if not more. So this is coming. And this is right here. So the real flush. This guy says this dump is fake. I believe a larger dump comes later, maybe end of next week. Agreed. The real flush hasn't arrived yet. The Bank of Japan hiking to 1% in April is the structural grenade nobody's hedging for. The last time Japan rates touched these levels, global carry trades unwound violently. This week's move is the appetizer. The entree lands when Tokyo opens that door. So I think that's what's going to happen. Who knows, though? But look at the DOVU. You go back, I was talking about DOVU in late 2022 and 2023. So it's been almost 4 years now of talking about DOVU, from carbon credits to now being in tokenization assets to having like 15 to 20% of all of Hedera's transactions are DOVU transactions right now. So they're finally completing engineering integration ahead of go live. DOVU deposits remain open. We'll share the confirmed go live time shortly. Thank you for your patience. So DOVU is obviously the shit, and it is coming to Kraken. And I looked into the Kraken thing. I have a thing in the description. If you create an account on Kraken with the link down there, deposit $200 and buy $200 worth of Bitcoin or whatever, you'll get up to $100. I think I don't know if you get $100 or you get like a scratch off thing, but I think it's up to $100. I'm pretty sure it is. I will double check it, but if you want free money, like, why not? So Morning Minute, the banks are coming for crypto custody. It's no longer a matter of if major banks will custody crypto, but a matter of when, with Morgan Stanley, Citi, and Barclays all lining up. Today, Uniswap won full dismissal of this case, claiming damages for scam tokens. So now Uniswap is no longer responsible for scam tokens on there that somebody came and listed, which is hugely bullish for crypto. If that was the case, that would have been a huge problem. Just like Tornado Cash now, all of a sudden the developers aren't held responsible for building a code. And that's what we need to see. So Uniswap down here, man, where is it? I don't even know how low it is. I don't even have it on my favorites, because I do own Uniswap, and I'm looking at buying more of it, honestly. Down here at 386, I think Uniswap is going to be around. So that's one that's definitely on my radar. The BTC ETFs drew $400 million in net inflows on Monday. Saylor and Tom Lee continue buying Bitcoin and ETH. Kalshi and Polymarket may be halted in Nevada after federal court says federal law does not preempt state law. The banks are coming for crypto. 3 of the world's largest banks made crypto custody moves in the past week. Morgan Stanley, Citi, and Barclays all filed an application with the OCC for a national trust bank charter. The proposed entity, Morgan Stanley Digital Trust National Association, would offer custody, trading, swap, staking, and stablecoin issuance under one federally regulated roof. The firm's head of digital assets confirmed at the Bitcoin conference on February 5th that the bank wants to bring Bitcoin trading, lending, yield, and custody in-house. Citi announced it will launch its institutional Bitcoin custody this year, letting clients hold Bitcoin in the same safekeeping accounts they use for equities, bonds, and cash. So guys, this is what I was telling you about. I listened to streams over a year ago about Fidelity talking about the platforms they're building out for retail customers, where we're going to be able to come in with our Ledger, our MetaMask wallets, or whatever we're using, and connect to our platform here and either transfer assets in, or exactly what they said here, where everything is in one portfolio. They just didn't prioritize retail. It was not on their list of things to do, is how do we figure out how to custody this for retail? There's really no money in that right now. So this is huge. And this is right along timing with, I think it was Monica Long or someone saying that towards the end of this year, we're going to see a huge push in tokenization of stocks to where a majority of it is now on chain. Why does this matter? Morgan Stanley has $8 trillion under management. A meaningful slice of that client base already holds crypto off platform. They're betting that a portion of those clients will bring those and hold them in-house. So like Morgan Stanley People that come and they bring in their XRP and their Flare and they want to earn yield on it. Guess what? Morgan Stanley's going to have a little thing, a little tab, earn yield on your XRP and Flare. And what's it going to be? A back end link right to Firelight. Firelight already has deals with all of the exchanges and banks and institutions out there. They all will be using this. So we now, people that aren't on the level we are, where we can download the Bifrost wallet, send our XRP in there, wrap it, throw it in, and earn max yield. People that are working a full-time job, they don't have time for this shit. They just throw it in there and they click one button, and you're going to be earning probably a point less or whatever on your yield because the exchange is going to take it out. They're like Citibank or Morgan Stanley will take a fee. They'll give you 3.5% and they'll take 1% for themselves. The trust bank structure means Morgan Stanley could custody clients' assets, run staking validators, issue stablecoins, and facilitate tokenized asset trades, competing directly with Coinbase Custody, BitGo, and Anchorage. Citi's version is about cross-margining. Clients will be able to pledge crypto assets against traditional positions in the same account structure. This changes the collateral game for institutions running crypto alongside equities and fixed income. What makes this story different from every banks are coming headline is they're actually here now and lining up deep. They're now OCC charter applications in the queue from Coinbase, Stripe-owned Bridge, Crypto.com, Morgan Stanley, and World Liberty Fi simultaneously. The OCC processed fewer than 4 applications per average from 2011 to 2024. In 25 and 26, 14 have been filed. So what does it all mean? It's hard to imagine these TradFi giants won't go through the effort to bring crypto in-house if they thought the industry was going to zero. Their adoption is a signal that they view what was once a frontier tech as maturing. It's bullish. Now we need to be patient and let the bull case play out. So I agree. I think we have one more leg down for another month or so. And then when the new Fed chair comes in, a bunch of money printing, the 250th year celebration on July 4th, the White House UFC event, markets pumping, Elon there with a new Doge tattoo. Shit's going to be crazy. But Visa to expand card partnership with Stripe's Bridge to over 100 companies. The world's biggest fintech and the world's largest payments network are expanding their stablecoin partnership. Visa and Bridge, a crypto startup acquired by Stripe in 2025, intend to launch stablecoin-backed cards in 100 countries across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The announcement follows a commitment in April where the two firms said they would launch in Latin America, including Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico. The cards are now live in 18 countries, allowing customers to take stablecoin balances they have in crypto wallets and use them to pay for purchases, like delis, clothing stores, or any merchant that accepts Visa. Companies, including the wallet startup Phantom, come to Bridge to create their own branded stablecoin-backed debit cards, and Visa acts as the payment network. Anyone who's building a stablecoin wallet needs to have a card connected to it if they want customers and businesses to be able to have that value held in the wallet spent in the real world. So there we go, guys. We're going to be able to spend our crypto right out of our wallets in the near future. We're not going to have to worry about banks and shit. We're going to be able to do it all in our own custody. And there was something in here saying about how this is being integrated into MetaMask and that this is 100% where everything is going. And this was interesting too. Iranian exchange outflows spiked to 10.3 million amid the strikes. Hourly outflows from major platforms in Iran climbed sharply once news of the strikes broke. So that's interesting. In January, total crypto activity tied to Iran reached 7.8 billion in 2025, driven by a collapsing rial, inflation running at historic highs, and sanctions that have severed the country from conventional dollar-denominated financial infrastructure. So I wonder, too, if this war, ironically, has something to do with the financial problem that I ran, it's a golden opportunity. The currency is collapsing, going to zero. What a great way to come introduce dollars to that country. So I don't even know if that's true or not. It's just something else is obviously going on. But it just sucks. The people are the ones that end up suffering. And I think this is one thing I'm worried about too, is they're still going to use that cryptos for criminals narrative, because the United States drained the Villanueva labeled crypto wallets that had Bitcoin in them. They moved $23,000 worth of Bitcoin from a wallet labeled on chain as tied to funds seized from Miguel Villanueva. Awesome. Way to go. So they got a quarter of a Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, not even. The transfers moved to 3 different addresses, included like 0.33 Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, 0.33, of course. So now the government currently holds 328,000 Bitcoins worth $22 billion, making it one of the largest known Bitcoin holders globally. So the U.S. has just seized their way to the biggest holder in the world. Good job. So this, guys, is what I thought was crazy. Premium beef goes digital. Why subscription demand is reshaping the meat supply chain. And this is like what I envision for Vibraville, is having our own supply chains, having our own meat. I just watched this video on Twitter. The guy, his brother owns the biggest dairy farm and biggest meat farm in New Jersey. And in order to sell to Outback, to Denny's, to Chili's, all the fast food chains, the animals have to be vaccinated. 85% of the pharmaceutical industry now goes to animals. So he said this thing, they make, that's why chickens get massive, because of the hormones and the steroids and the shit that they're shooting into them. Well, you're not allowed to sell to those restaurants unless that's injected into them. So unless you're getting your stuff from a local farm, it's straight up toxic. So people now need a way to ensure that, yeah, my beef was raised on an organic farm. It wasn't in some, shed eating corn its whole life and labeled organic, because that can be easily manipulated. But once it's on chain and the actual grower or farm has RFID chips or a way to track this stuff, this is where it's going in the future. So demand for premium beef through online subscription platforms is increasing because consumers are prioritizing traceability, grading consistency, and direct-to-producer logistics over traditional retail channels. What began as a niche direct-to-consumer experiment has evolved into a structurally significant shift in how high-grade beef is marketed, fulfilled, and financed. The growth of subscription models reflects a broader e-commerce maturity, improved cold chain infrastructure, and changing consumer expectations. So I think that Hedera they already have the carbon credits. They already were showing at one of the conferences a bag of coffee and the RFID scanning, showing everything, where the coffee was made, where the packaging came from, where it was packaged, everything, its whole lifespan, with one scan, all done on Hedera. And now FedEx, it came out earlier or last week that FedEx is going to put 220 country operations onto the Hedera blockchain. So this is right here why FedEx chose Hedera for all of their operations, because they need something that can scale, that is fast, and has fixed fees. You can't have fees moving up and down like Ethereum. It does not work. Even Pulse Chain does not work for certain businesses and enterprises. You cannot operate in a world without knowing how much your fees are going to be and having that a set cost.
What made FedEx interested in getting involved with the Hedera Council? We realized that we could build the technology, but it was beyond just a technology discussion. And we learned that digital supply chains don't just scale by adding more technology; they scale when trust scales. And so I don't want to go past what I think is an obvious statement, but the future of global supply chains is digital. And so let me just hit a hard line in the sand on my response on that one, which is we now have 3,000 years or so of trade, right? Starting with a canoe across a river, but you had a proxy of trust that owned the canoe that was separated from supply and demand, from you and me. We had a middle person there. Well, that's only grown over hundreds of thousands of years to the point where now it may take a couple of dozen documents, hard paper documents, to get something around the world. And we've reached the point where global supply chains, the speed and the complexity of that, have simply moved past the ability for paper to keep up with that. And so that, combined with where the technology is right now, allows us to say the future of global supply chains is digital. Once we digitize, now we can move things at essentially light speed, the speed of data, compared to what we've had for all of the civilization. Again, this is kind of a once in a civilization moment where the rearview mirror is paper and papyrus and clay tablets and what got us here. And the windshield is essentially digits, right? Digital, ones and zeros, and the ability to capture that and to move it through these very complex systems, you know, machine learning and AI and everything else that can do that, analytics and optimization. That's what's right in front of us. So the timing of this is not coincidental. We really think we're at this inflection point from that point of view. And so back to the reference I made, which is, digital supply chains scale when trust can scale. So this is really about trust. Most shipment data should stay within company systems, but there's a handful of, a small number of key facts that are going to have to be shared and trusted across many parties. And we think Hedera offers a neutral way to support that shared trust. We wanted to help shape how that infrastructure evolves.
Boom. NVIDIA, Intel, they chose Hedera. All right. These big companies that run the world with all of the chip processing, with future technology, with banking, with all these ledgers, they're not going to rely on somebody that didn't come from the inside. They're not going to build all this stuff and have a guy like Charles Hoskinson behind it where he could do something to screw it all up in 15 years. Like that, they put people in place that are faces. Like Michael Saylor is an asset. He is not an organic person that grew up like us and just found Bitcoin. No, I don't know if his company was or authentic, and then he just went crazy in the .com era and he blew it up. And then as part of that, he made some kind of a deal to stay out of prison. Like, I don't know, but it's not it doesn't add up. And he's the same thing he did in the .com era, he's doing now with MicroStrategy and over leveraging. And he's just a Ponzi playing a role waiting to blow it up. And Bitcoin, I think, is that Trojan horse that is going to blow up and make room for the real infrastructure, the Hedera, Ripple, Stellar, Flare, Stronghold, Canton, even Ethereum. They're going to force that to be used and make people use it because it's in their best interest. And that's how these people work. They put the people in place to run these blockchains to ensure that nothing can go wrong in the future. Because this is where the entire world is going. He just said it. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity and process where this stuff goes from paper to digital. Because once you move that goalpost, it's never coming back. And the last thing, I thought this was interesting, that Mara Holdings hints at selling its treasury, creating 53,000 Bitcoin overhang. Mara may join BitDeer and Core Scientific in selling some of its Bitcoin reserves. Mara continued buying Bitcoin at prices above 111,000. So they couldn't have bought at 112, 110, 500. It was exactly 111. So this is like somehow how they communicate. Like they communicate in numbers like this shit. I'm convinced of it. Maybe I'm crazy. I've been doing this too long, but you start to see certain patterns. And it's like, it was really 111. They didn't buy anything at 115 or 113 or 110. But now that in the recent market downturn and the pressures of mining led Mara to reconsider its strategy, the company used its latest 10K filings to announce the changes in its treasury policy. They admitted it had used BTC as a long-term investment, but more selling may come this year. Why? Because the price is down so much. And I think the writing's on the wall. Now, people always say, well, Eric Trump and these guys, they have so much money invested in Bitcoin mining firms. How could they do that? Trump invested $100 million into a Bitcoin mining farm. No, he didn't take $100 million of his dollars and go put it in there. They have some new LLC or some new company that they formed, and they went and they probably put $1 million down or whatever, and they borrow the rest of it to start this up. So if it goes bankrupt, Trump's on the hook for pennies. It's nothing. So just because you see these guys talking about the Bitcoin mines and this and that doesn't mean that if it collapsed that it's going to affect their pockets at all. So that's one thing that people need to understand out there. Let's see your live. What is about XRP? XRP is going to take over. Where was it? We talked about the Japan right here. The Bank of Japan hiking to 1% in April is the structural grenade nobody's hedging for. So Bank of Japan is going full blockchain with their central bank deposits being tested. And we all know who the Bank of Japan has been working with SBI and Ripple. So SBI has owned 9% of Ripple since way back in the day. And we all know the connection there with XRP in Japan. And this is going to be the first country to launch a CBDC on the blockchain. I think what did the Bahamas launch one? But first G20 country to launch one is going to be Japan. And I think April is going to be when interest rates finally go up. That something's going to break, and this is going to be ushered out. And I think it's all going to be settled on the XRP ledger. And Ripple working with every central bank, like that's what they're doing. They're building private blockchains for the central banks. Like this, we all know that. So this is the exact same time central bank is testing on-chain settlement. SBI signed an MOU to distribute RLUSD stablecoin in Japan. No other country on earth has a systemically important bank this deep into one blockchain. So I think the rollout of XRP is coming in the next couple months as things start to break, as regulations come out, as stocks and tokenization, everything begins to move on chain. I think a majority of that settlement is going to be on the XRP ledger. And that means XRP is going one place. And I think that is up. Vibraville is a lifestyle. Risk off for real. Yeah. In the next month. Yes, I think so. I think we are going to roll over one more time. I think this shit is going to get crazy. There's going to be an escalation and the markets are going to roll over. I think the stock market is looking toppy. Gold, silver's down 7% today. Gold down 4%. I think they're going to both come down, bro. I think there's going to be a giant repricing of all assets in the next 6 months. Everyone's broke. No one can afford anything. It's out of control. So when I'm in a lot of state, like I took 15% of my XRP and put it into stable coins at like $1.42. And I'm going to try to buy back in at like $1.20. If it dips lower than that, if it goes to $1.20, I'll use half of it. And then if it dips lower, I'll rebuy it and try to add to my bag because I want to use some of that money, that profit, and buy some more Uniswap, buy some more Quant, and a couple other projects. So, like same thing with DOVU. Like that's one of my bigger liquid bags. So I sold that, the last of it, at 5,000. And we were coming back up. So I think DOVU is going to come back down. Maybe not. Maybe we come back up again, but I just think for macro wise, we're just not there yet. We're heading into war. We're heading into more uncertainty. The Clarity Act hasn't happened yet. And the stock market, I think, it's overheated. So I think we're going to see a nice correction in the stock market, and that's going to bring crypto down. I think Bitcoin's going to 50K in the next month. And that's the ultimate buy zone. Reverse carry trade. Yup, exactly. Only has 7K shares, but only waiting to buy more in case we get a big dip here. Good, bro. That's good, Evan. That's awesome, bro. And then you take what you have and you go to the fassets.au.cc. If you have it with your Ledger or you have it in Bifrost or Zaman wallet, you come and connect here and you mint your FXRP, mint F assets. So you're going to connect your wallet and then you're going to mint it. And then when it's done in 2 weeks on the 18th, you're going to come in and you're going to deposit it into Firelight. And then you're going to earn the yield and then take that yield and constantly rotate it back into more XRP. So then you can use cash to buy more and you can use the yield on what you have, because 7K, that's over $10,000 at 4% a year. There's $400. So, you're going to be able to just slowly accumulate with your yield. So dry powder and back in. That's what I'm doing, bro. I'm in my bigger positions I trimmed out of, and the stuff that is down that I held. Like most of the altcoins that I held, I sold my initial and just kept a moon bag of. So most of my XRP is in my iTrust Capital account. Most of my 99% of it is in there. What I'm holding outside of it is like my DOVU is 2,500 of it's in stables. Flare is all locked up, so I'm not touching that. XRP, my liquid stuff, this 1,500 is half of it is in Firelight. The other half is waiting to go in there. But my big bag and iTrust Capital is where I sold 10,000 at $1.40. So I'm trying to rebuy that 10,000 and add to, like I said, my Uniswap bag. I want to buy some more near, some Filecoin. So that's the play for me here. Stronghold, I'm holding on to because I bought $300 worth and I'm using all my Phoenix rewards to just slowly add to it. Dynex is a moon bag. Took my initial out. Saucer Swap, I've been holding since it launched in 2023. Got my initial out. Corium, the free airdrop. Jasmy, I had 100,000, so I've added 35 in the bear market. Want to add more to that. Velo, I'm up to like 205,000 now from Phoenix. PulseX, I'm up to 120 now. Hex, I'm up to 1.2 million almost. And then Canton, I'm up to, I got an extra 125 from scalping on Kraken. I just haven't updated this in a while. Research Coin, Block V, Swarm Market. So yeah, I'm up to 43.57 now. I only had 3,000. So by scalping it, like this might actually be one to take profits on right now. I feel like we're ready to come back down a little bit. We've got a big jump up. But Swarm is a great project. Like the guys behind it invented the NFTs. So Swarm and Block V is working with Visa. So that connection is there. So I know NFTs are going to be big in the future. And being able to like go to Starbucks and when you buy a coffee, you get an NFT as a reward or whatever. So Swarm, they're tokenizing real world assets. They have this already trading, but it's their sister company. I forget the name of it. I forget what the its sister company is. It's Block V. It's part of Block. All right, where's V? Does Block V not have a Twitter? There we go. At Block V. Here, all right, so this is through Block V here. So this, look at this. So the Pepsi Pass, Visa Web3 loyalty engagement, Smart Media Technologies. This is it. Smart Media Technologies. That's the company. All right, there we go. I knew it was Swarm and Smart Media. So you're going to get your Visa reward points.
Traditional loyalty programs are simply an exchange of spend and reward, but consumers are demanding more in return for their loyalty. This loyalty solution goes beyond, expanding opportunities for brands to reward customers for everything from social shares to viewing content. It's an interactive, gamified experience that lets customers earn and redeem value in new and engaging ways. Here's how it works. Trina the Traveler is headed to Paris. At the airport, she scans a QR code for the airline's rewards program when checking her luggage. Trina has a web-based digital wallet, so she's automatically subscribed as an airline rewards member with a digital reward in just a few clicks. She earns a day pass to the member lounge and can relax before her big flight. At the hotel, Trina's given a digital key card and welcome packet with a loyalty offer for completing fun and simple actions. She decides to check 2 actions off right away. She completes a brief survey on her mobile device and follows the hotel on social. She then redeems her newly earned rewards for a hot stone upgrade during her massage tomorrow at the hotel spa. Trina's ready to hit the town and decides to treat herself to some shopping on the Champs-Elysees. She opens her Visa Partner Loyalty web app and finds a virtual treasure map powered by augmented reality that shows available deals and special rewards offered at stores nearby. With her AR map as a guide, she's on a quest to collect as many digital rewards as she can, and as a result, discovers some new favorite stores along the way. Her efforts are rewarded at her final stop, where she can bundle her rewards into an exclusive gift with purchase. Ready to wind down for the evening, Trina visits a local wine shop and buys a nice bottle of red. Right away, she receives a notification with a link rewarding her purchase with a mystery gift. She's surprised with an offer for a complimentary macaron at the cafe next door. Trina goes to redeem the reward and heads back to her hotel. She can't wait to get cozy and settle in with her dessert and a glass of Cabernet. Thanks to her loyalty program, it's been the perfect beginning to her Parisian adventure, and she is just getting started.
That's how cool is that? So there's a bunch of videos where you can read this, and let Visa is building this stuff out. Like, all we need is regulation to come, and that's like literally the last step. It's really sick, this stuff. So Smart Media is building out all of this, working with Visa to build the back end of their loyalty program for all these different companies, like the Pepsi Pass, the World of Pie, the X Games is on here, launching rewards for X Game fans with AI, AR, and in real life experiences, ticket loyalty, gamification, and engagement bonuses. Guys, this is all coming. Like, we're not going backwards to paper. Like, this is going to get better and better and better as phones get better, as everything just gets better. This is what is coming. You know, all stuff is going to be, they want to bring you closer to this stuff. And now even the last NBA game I went to, the Hornets game, I still have the NFT of the ticket stub on my phone. So just having that NFT to show you're at stuff, giving badges, like prize drops were released across the venue. When users picked up tokens, they tapped to reveal rewards. Leveraging a few building blocks of Web3 utility, X Games achieved flexible campaign goals, acquiring new members and engaging them through gamified experiences. This is where it's all going, guys. So that's why I'm bullish on Swarm. Clearpool at almost tripled my bag from 5,000 to 14, even though it's down in the dumps. Like, I think it'll come back. Qubic, Propy, building NFTs and selling houses on the blockchain. Right now, you can go and buy shit with crypto on their website. You could go buy a property right now. And you can pay with multiple cryptos. So in Florida, they got properties all over the place. Look at that. In Texas, they got properties. So you could come in right here and flip. If you want to buy this house in Hollywood, Florida, you can come make an offer on it. Right on the website. So this is the future of real estate, all done through on the blockchain. No title companies, no closings, none of that. Cut it all right out. It's going to be great. Sold a chunk of my silver. I know people say don't ever sell, but selling to buy food, gas, water is a no-brainer. Well, I sold 80% of my silver too. I think silver is going to come back down to $50. Had to sell some for emergency electrical problem in my house recently. Glad it was there to call. Exactly. That's why we buy this stuff at $10 to $15 and you hold it. And then when you need to sell it at $80, $90, it's like, all right, yeah, I made 5, 6x on that, whatever. It doesn't hurt that bad. And that's how you build wealth for yourself. The reason we bought it to help us in the future. If I overbought knowing I might need to sell. Exactly. Looking pretty for the tax saving influences in Dubai getting hit by Iran. It's crazy how some stocks, they shoot up in price over very little news, yet XRP with enormous amounts of good news goes down. Yeah, just because right now XRP it's only retail trading it. And with Ripple, the escrow coming out every month, with the OTC deals, with the dark pools, a majority of supply is being transacted where we don't even see it. So until that stuff is all gone and XRP is being needed for collateral and being used by all the banks, that's when the price is going to go up. And I think, and two, Ripple is nowhere near an IPO. So once we see Ripple announce an IPO launch date or just a date for that, I think that gives a timeline for when we see the price go up, because the higher XRP's price is, the higher the valuation for the IPO is. And we know they want to be number one. They want to beat Saudi Aramco, be the number one biggest IPO ever. So that's going to happen. But yeah, guys, so I'm just, holding a little bags, that stuff that's down below $100. Now I need to look at and be like, all right, I've now done this with X swap 3 times where I've added to it and it's still down below $25. So I'm dead. I'm considering that dead. Go plug in. I had added like another 5,900 and now it's below $100. So I'm not touching it. I'm just going to let it ride. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But at this point, I'm not going to keep feeding money into stuff that just keeps dumping down. Like Ye is the only one that I hear that I might add to, because I think memes are going to come back hard, but the blue chip memes when the market turns. I really think XDC is a sleeping giant. I actually bought more of that in my IRA, but liquid, I'm only holding. Well, I have 5,000, I think. I don't know why it's 1,600. I have 5,000 liquid, and then the go plug in X swap. And then there's one other altcoin I hold, but they all suck. They're all just like, this is it. SRX, this one here. They're all just kind of doing nothing, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I'm holding liquid right now. But it's mostly in stables, like my biggest position. So, but also PTGC is a huge position. I don't know why that's not on here. That's my biggest liquid bags with like over 4K right now, and UFO and a couple bags there. But yeah, fam, I'm out of here. If you guys need help, go down in the description. There's a link to book a one-on-one if you want to go over your portfolio, talk about a short-term plan for the next couple months here. What do we do when the market dips, being in stables, catching the dip, and then stuff we're accumulating for the long term, for 5, 10, 20 years down the road. When these assets are adopted and starting to be used at scale, everyone's going to know about Hedera and XRP. They're going to be the future Microsoft, Dell's, NVIDIA's that everybody knows. So you got to make sure now you've identified them and at least started accumulating some. At least get your feet wet. Start diversifying into XRP or XLM, HBAR, Quant, Qubic, Flare, DOVU, Stronghold. And I think you'll be doing phenomenal in the next 1, 2, 3 years down the road. This is I'm long term. I'm not trying to catch 100x overnight, trade. I'm all about stacking my Pokemon cards, keep buying them, putting them away, adding to my crypto bags, keep adding to these pools that are paying me yield every day, keep adding to Flare, adding to Spark Dex, adding to Phoenix. So my yield starts getting higher and higher every day. And as we start to do a 10, 20, 50x, you go from making $3, $4 a day to a couple hundred a day. And now that couple hundred a day, that's serious. Now that can actually start doing stuff with your life. And to get to that, where you're making $200 a day, you need to use these times right now to accumulate and have the brain power and the ability to say, all right, when everything is so much more tech savvy, when all of our apps that we have are all connected, when our airline tickets and all of our rewards are all in one spot, like that's coming in the next 2 to 3 years. So there's only a handful of companies that are tackling that use case, Swarm and Block V. So I just think, all right, certain use cases are going to be here. They're not going to just disappear. And that's what I'm trying to tackle. So you guys need help, let me know. Reach out. You got questions, let me know. I'm here to help. Where am I getting my Pokemon cards? So they just put out a Dollar General coupon for $10 off, $40 or more purchased on Saturday. So what I will do is call Dollar Generals around here, and I'm going to go and get a couple more of those coupons. So I'll have 3 $10 coupons. So last week I bought the 2026 decks. They're $15. You get 3 packs and a promo in them. So I bought 3 at a time, and it was $35 for 3. It was like $38 after tax. So I went in 4 times, and I have 13 of those, and my average is like $12.90 a box, and they're selling for $30 online. So I've literally got a majority of my stuff on Dollar General. I just caught a couple Amazon drops. So there's a really good notifications, Pokemon deals TCG right here. So you follow this account, and every time there's a drop anywhere, they drop a tweet. So right here, 42 minutes ago, Destined Rivals sleeve boosters for $7 on Amazon, but they're probably gone now. Like, you have to be here and like click on the link immediately. Yeah, these are gone. So like I caught a drop the other day of the tech stickers right here. I was able to get 3 of them. So every single day stuff drops on Walmart or Best Buy or Target. So you got to just get the notification and then click the link immediately and then add it to cart and try to check out. It's a freaking race. If you're wasting 10 seconds, it's gone. Like, the bots are so fast to clear it all up that it's almost frustrating. Like, it pisses me off. And that's why I'm at the point where it's just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm not doing this. What sales and the tax in the US? Where I am at, it's 8%. So it was $35 that came out to like 38 and change. Every $50 you spend 4, which ain't bad. But what I do though is all the stuff that I order on eBay, I have shipped to Delaware. So we have really close family friends, and we have a summer house down there. So I have it shipped to their house down there. So when I'm ordering like a $300 or $400 box or case, I'm not trying to spend an extra $35 on sales tax. So I have like 8 or 9 boxes that are down there that next month when we go down, I'm gonna have to drive them back. But it saved me like $180 on sales tax. So that's like another box I can go buy by doing that. So just the little hacks like that with shipping stuff to Delaware using the $10 off coupons, it cuts the price down because I'm not trying to, pay these prices. Pokemon 2026 collection day. So yeah, $30 for the cheapest ones. So they were $15 at Dollar General near us. So $29.99 for this one is the cheapest. They'll come down a little bit over the next, but you're never gonna get this for $24 shipped. So for me, I'm happy getting 13 of these at $12 a piece and put them away. And in 5 years, when these things are $100, I might sell 2 of them and recoup my $150 or $200 I put into them, and then just hold them, bro. I got a ton of Sword and Shield. I don't think I'm on. Did I sign into Collector app here? I don't think I did, but Collector app is the shit. Okay, can't visit Collector app. Oh, getcollector.com. Okay. So this app is the shit. Every time you get a box or a card, you add it and it keeps track of the latest sales on like eBay and TCG Player. It's like a little portfolio tracker. So I use this thing every day. I check this 10 times more than I check the crypto prices because Pokemon's in a full-fledged bull market right now. Every day, things are going up 5-10%. It's like, whoa, holy shit, what happened? But I was buying this up, bro. There were a couple streams that I was doing in like 2023 when Scarlet and Violet first came out, when the base SV booster box, they were like $79.99, and cases were $479.99 or something like that. And now the cheapest ones are $14. Here we go. Oh, that's a pre-order for MEO3. Well, like I got my booster bundle for I think like $2.99 back in the day. Yeah, these right, Scarlet and Violet right here. It was $79.99 to like $82. And I was on stream being like, guys, these are such good buys. Everyone hates these right now, but they'll come back. And now they're up 5x. Everything's up 5x from 2-3 years ago. And it's not going to stop. They cannot print enough right now. And like Pokemon has been able to, because you take a box and you throw it on the shelf for 5 years and you don't open it or do anything with it, you're able to hold crypto for the long term. It's like, all right, I'm holding these for the next 5 years. Why the hell can't I hold a crypto too? It's all in your head where you just check the chart and go crazy over it. But once you buy these boxes and let them sit, you take your coins and you lock them up and start earning yield on them and never touch them again and just touch the rewards. You just start operating different and start thinking differently and just making that switch of, I'm going to put a box away every month. After 2 years, you have a ton of them. It's like, whoa, I actually have something now. Like getting rich and building wealth is boring. It's not fun. It's not sexy. You know, people can go gamble and, you know, make $1 million overnight, but that's not sustainable. Anyone can't just do that. Anyone can buy a box of cards or go out and find good deals and put them away and buy $20 a week of Flare for the last couple of years and just put it away and forget about it. And in the next year, 2 years, you will be rewarded. Just like silver. When I bought all my silver, it was $12, $13 and no one wanted it. And then all of a sudden it went crazy and I sold it because everyone now wanted the same silver. No one wanted. It's the same thing. I bought all these cards when no one wanted them. And now everyone wants them. And all this shit cycles. And right now, no one wants crypto. It's the time to buy because in a year or two, everyone's going to want it. So just front running where the herd is going will always benefit you. So smash that like button. I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Vibra got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra is the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.